Huh. That's interesting. I had no idea it did this. Like, I really wanted to get to recording this. But, really wanted to get to recording this. But, yeah, this is the Icebrood Saga Forging Steel. More properly.
What
now,
are you waiting for?
Yeah, I was quite surprised about
ready.
the Dark Crime delves being
Don't tell me you're afraid of a little water.
all the way over there. Like, is that just like an underground thing? Oh, I don't understand. There's a lot of stuff is like over here. So it's like I don't know if that's just a whatever. But if we get taken here by Aurine, we automatically get the waypoint for here on any level 80 character now. But yeah, this should say a lot about when I'm actually recording this. But you'll notice this. Now, public is fine. Up to you if you want to do it that way. In which case, if you do go public, you can use party members to join you. But I might be recording this on a different character just for the sake of DPS and rate.
Bunch of recruits I've ever laid eyes on.
But here's kind of how it starts.
For work details.
Storm's getting worse. Recruits, pick up the pace. You're in the Steel Warband now. I expect nothing short of absolute perfection.
Can I use this? Yes. Fantastic. And I got my frogs and everything. What are my orders, sir? I help so-and-so. And that prompts you to be able to help out with these here in the public mode. Now, if you go into private and it's not like your first time or something, you can help out with any of these just fine, no issue.
Hop in the tank. Don't scratch the paint.
Don't scratch the paint. I'll scratch it. But only in cool designs.
He's got state-of-the-art anti-personnel grenade launchers. Tanasura, one nade, total mayhem.
I just kind of want to go over like some of this beginning stuff of it because I didn't get to in like the previous video to do this place. But if you're doing the startup of this event here, there is a champ enemy that if you do kill them, it speeds up the process of going to this protection phase. Now this, you basically just get to go shooting test dummies. Oh, someone broke the CC bar and
We're being ambushed! Fire at will!
Where do you want to go? I think someone was saying that you should kill the middle ones first, or they could bug out. Or they have like an increased odds of bugging out on you, I guess. To exit the tank is goofy that the button's over there, but that's how it is. But tank, you need munitions to use. There is a sniping spot up here. And then there's an event over here to basically gather like certain requested materials for the potions.
Recruits, I've got something to show you. Go get him.
Why do you have to sigh like that? You make me feel bad. Wait a minute.
I got one.
Oh.
This is going to hurt.
I didn't know this part. Apparently, the rifle, I think the rifle DPS is affected by your DPS, unless this is just different on public mode or a recent change. I didn't really get to do this on this character, so I don't know, maybe it's just like a public mode for more people to have time to get in or something. Actually know what it does to hold that.
This is going to hurt.
I don't think it's doing more damage. I think it's in case you press it too early thing. In which case, you can still make a salvage of it. Looking a little behind over here, so I think I should probably help. Get over here. If I make this, it'll be just barely in time. Ugh. I can do it.
That's enough. Bring me what you got.
Dang. Yeah, once it starts, party is locked.
Warband's ready to move out, Rod.
Is that how you address your centurion,
And usually if
soldier?
you get that bit done in time, you can get like a little potion buff. And so on and so forth.
He's a big shot now that he's Bangar's golden cub.
All right. Let's get a move on before we freeze our tails off.
Otherwise, everything else that I talked about in the previous video to do with this, that's really everything else going on, except for, like, you know, the achievement to do/sit in that after you do all the stuff to the boss at the end. That's how I think I'm gonna skip on ahead to the real story mission for you. Alright.
You seem quite comfortable out there. A natural centurion. I picked up a thing or two from you. You're certainly a much better student than Brimstone. So much wasted potential. He doesn't know how to follow orders, from what I've heard. Damn right. Times are changing. Never know who you can count on these days. I need tribunes at my side.
So
who
doing
believe
this-
in the future I'm building. I'll do what it takes to prove myself. That's what I like to hear. Not at all like your sire.
You want mostly to just use the greatsword, I'm pretty sure. A lot of enemies have like a vulnerability to it here.
Sealed up. It'll take something strong to get through this. Let me have a crack at it.
And that's also like your tool to go through a variety
Better
of
than the
things.
real thing.
Turn this up a little bit.
Get this door open.
Okay.
I could get through this.
Can you? Can you really? Show me. Easy peasy. Now, to be sure, this is one of the weapons they kind of let us be able to get. I was about to show it, and then this guy came up. Because he wants to ruin my fun.
There's something I want to ask. This Elder Dragon, how are we gonna tame it? Improvisation. If the commander can do it, it can't be that hard. You think the bow will be enough? The bow is a rallying cry. The Ice Dragon will know a true champion when it sees one. So Dragon serves champion? Or does champion serve dragon? Jormag will serve me.
Oh.
My Char Imperium will reach from the Shiver Peaks to Kantha.
Nope. I know you're still there, but I wasn't born yesterday. Can I just...
That car couldn't have gone very far.
Just got this. Yes! Yes, I
Guess
can.
we aren't the only ones here. Who are they after? I'm wondering that myself. Get this gate open. Nothing happened. Piece of junk's missing a gear. Get the lever fixed so we can move on.
Fine, you're so bossy.
Mengar's always dangling another opportunity. This should work.
Now, to me, this alone speaks a lot of what we might see come to play with this character. Which,
Boys. There's more of them.
you'll notice, if I can see my name, it says Rylan Steelcatcher. That is because in this mode, we're playing as Ryland. Don't you know you only make me stronger? Is this one? No, it's this one. Here comes my favorite part.
Piss off!
The veteran introduction, Hunter.
Rengar! Are there any more of you? The Vigil needs help.
Almora, what are you doing here?
Svanir bastards kidnapped me and Javi. Slaughtered the others. They surrendered to Jormag's whispers.
Whispers? The Svanir are Norn savages. Troglodytes, nothing more.
There's no time for this. They still have Javi. Help me save the Vigil.
Yeah.
So much damage. I think I just butchered a good attack.
So many lives lost. All because of Jormag's seduction.
Imperator Ruinbringer has a plan to subdue Jormag. We'll bring the dragon to heel.
I don't think I actually noticed there was
You
enemies
heard
right
him.
there.
I'm gonna become Jormag's champion. Bend it to my will.
That's not possible.
There's
Am I
no
doing
time
this right?
for this. You want us to save
Am I doing the
precious Vigil or not?
war claw? Alright.
The exit's up there.
For anyone who doesn't know, there's an achievement to arrest a war claw in like all these different little
There's no
boxes that look
switch.
exactly like
I'll
that.
find it.
And I learned this from helping people out with this instance, and that you cannot rest anyone up on there
The one up here is broken.
before like lifting that.
Works. Find another way, Centurion. Those two have
I
some
cannot
kind of history.
deal with that.
It's going to complicate things. What is it this time?
I think I got resting in my way. Nope. That is not a rest. Eh. Where are you going? Never actually tried doing this without confronting that enemy. Like, I can do it fine, I just don't always want to fight me up. Whoops. An Ice Brood Warrior. They didn't notice me, nor my Super Coda. Also, there is hidden chests to find in this place. One is underneath this platform. You can raise the platform and then go underneath it to grab it, then just lower the platform back down and get on it.
What exactly have you been telling him?
The truth.
Your truth. The Vigil, the Pact. We aren't the enemy.
You aren't allies either. Not with that dragon at the commander's disposal.
It was actually to my understanding there's like a room right there, but it's not really relevant to much. Just kind of like foreshadows what you might see up ahead.
You haven't changed a bit. Always seeing monsters where there are none.
At least my eyes are open. The war with the humans nearly killed us off.
Stop it.
You won't forget that.
You forget what you did to our son. Poisoned his will with your bottomless hate. How many more will die like Ajax?
Don't you dare say his name. He sacrificed himself for the jar while you were off gallivanting with anyone but.
Kiss my hairy ass!
This is getting out of hand. I better get over there before they claw each other's eyes out.
Your plan is insane! The last thing Tyrion needs is another raging Elder Dragon.
An elder dragon on a leash. My leash. 4 of you? We don't have time for this.
Ow. Dang it. Fine. Only because you insist. I think I'm gonna die. Oh crap. Oh no. Only because you insist. Why you gotta chill me of all the things? Just, of all the things you could do, poison or something, torment, I don't care. But once it's of chill, then I actually do kinda care. Can I just kill him from that? Fine. They really do make it like annoying to just go past these guys. But, is there a book here? It's like out in the open. Maybe I'm thinking somewhere else. Just because of like the fact that there's a lot of champs here. I wouldn't put it past that being the case. Really? I could have just ran. I would have had to like save this, but whatever.
Ryland! She's lost her mind.
I heard you antagonizing.
Stand down, Ryland!
I'm sworn to protect my imperator.
Wrong choice.
Why you gotta be like this? Ugh. Now, incorrectly high DPS is actually pretty good for this fight, but you just have to be aware of the hazards of being incredibly squishy, or you might actually get destroyed pretty quickly. And up a bit. Right. I will fight you. I can't break that bar like this. I made a mistake. So at this point, you want to save your 2 skill for that specific moment, or you're going to get destroyed. Pop this for protection. And I popped it again early like an idiot. Okay, comes. There it goes. I won.
You were my fire, my blood.
I was nothing to you. The only one you care about is Bangar Ruinbringer.
Everything I've done is for the preservation of the Jar.
You'll be the end of the Char.
No reasoning with a Gladium who betrays her own kind. She can't be saved. Make it quick. Is that the smartest move? She's a hero to a lot of Char.
Another son you've lost.
Ho ho ho! So you had the last laugh, though. Another son you lost.
You're more like your sire than I thought.
Because no one actually agrees with you.
Get rid of the body. Some must fight, so that all may be free.
You can sense the sorrow in his voice. And then from there we can see he was the one who buried Almora. Yeah, ultimately, this episode gave us an idea as to how those gates might have gotten opened, and how Almora got where she was. I think that's the real interesting little bit of a kicker to this. And we got to play this sort of antagonistic role, whether we mean to or not. I think that's the real fun part of this. Let's see.
Bengar's dangerous, as you've seen.
No.
He wants to subdue a dragon. Such hubris. I still don't know what Jormag's plan is, but Bengar must be stopped. The Imperators are gathering the Char legions to meet Vanguard on the battlefield. Speak with Ritlock. A great conflagration is coming, and I'm afraid my presence would only escalate matters. I
Still
won't
talking
be able to
without
fight with you
moving your
this time,
mouth for it.
champion. But I'll be here. And in the mists.
All you dragons are witches. We must burn all of you. Okay. Close that. But after you complete that, you get to talk to Ritlock. See what he has to say.
You had me worried, observing a formative moment in the past, or whatever Aurene said. It was like you were awake and asleep at the same time. Talking to yourself, not making sense. You kept saying names. Bangar. Almora. Anyway, seems like you're back to your old commandery self. The commander wants to talk to me? I'm honored.
Want an autograph?
Yeah, Kree's got some updates from the front lines. Bangar's forces have trekked pretty far north. He's almost made it to Jormag, and when that happens, well, no one knows. Krisha's got all the Imperators playing nice. For now. Things will only get worse from here. Bangar's a piece of work, but without him, there's a power vacuum. I know Kree can handle herself, but when the fighting gets ugly, she's gonna need our support.
Are you gonna vote for Kree?
Things are kind of a mess right now. Is that what you saw in? Thanks for letting me know. Bangar's got his claws in Ryland like a damn puppet. But Ryland's not him. I'm glad that Soulkeeper was a warrior to the end. We didn't always see eye to eye. She's the truest Char there is. Things are kind of a mess. I used to see Bangar as a mentor. That's what he does. Makes you feel like he's the only one who sees your true potential. The Farrar was
I could outrun a centaur.
serving Bangar, becoming his tribune. Thought that'd make it all better.
Nope.
He used that against me. And now he's doing the same with Ryland. Ryland didn't go through what I did. I made sure of that. But after Bangar sent me away, I can't help thinking I could have stopped all this. If I'd just been there.
Is there anything else
The
you'd say?
commander wants
No.
to talk to me. I'm honored.
You're such a fangirl, man. But let's talk about Sode. So here we have the scrying pool. And you'll notice this vision of your past adventure. And view of the Eye of the North before your friends arrived here. This takes you to how this was before, with the heritage stuff and the Hall of Monuments stuff. And then this one, you can find sort of mementos from your past adventures from Living World Season 1. And you can play them back here for achievements. Now, I have done all these already. The easiest of these is the Canuck Slayer, in my opinion. Like, once you understand the trick to it, it's actually pretty easy and straightforward. You basically just want to trip the mines and sphere side and lure Canuck to them. Pretty straightforward and simple. That's all it really is, and you have to identify the mines by their type, so they have an effect on Canuck. Otherwise, half the time, your CC can also just like send Canuck into them as well. But you also have to be keeping an attention to Knock's patterns of if he will fix the mines back to his side or not. Okay. Which thing did I... Okay. Got what title I was using. Let me back down. Yeah, I'm hoping eventually we get more stuff to this place, because I would really like to just have more in general features to here
You'll find everything you need here.
to give me a reason to like just sort of come back to here instead of just like Divinity's Reach or something. Like as awesome as Koss is, he's not the only reason I would have to come back here. In fact, the actual only other reason for me to come back here is to do strike missions. Like, I have already done all the runic armors. That wasn't too difficult. As you can see, I have all these ones. I have all these ones. And I certainly have all these ones. Let's take a look at their sets. So this is the heavy set, which is really cool looking. I've definitely been looking into ways I could make a use of it. I'm thinking mecha themed. Definitely thinking mecha themed. Especially with like some of these designs here. But I don't know if I'll actually like roll with that. So let's use this set. See what we got to work with. That was all of it already. And this almost looks like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially with this bit here. Just like give him his claws and he's just ready for some shredding. And the light set. I'm really not too sure if I actually like this set. At the very least, I think it probably has a few merits. I just don't know how soon I'll use any of this. Which I believe is a fair enough. And of course the cape from this episode is supposed to be going with all these. Let's see. There it is. Okay, we're gonna close that. This over here. Now we can see this in its proper glory. Now obviously my weapon's kind of like interfering with that, but otherwise. Actually, let's fix that problem. Oh yes, that's way better. A lot less clipping issues. Like obviously there's like the natural clip that they kind of intended to happen. Where it's like the arms technically sinking into like the chest. Most people don't actually probably think about that, but it's there. Alright, now let's see it with this set. Oh. I'd say that's pretty good. Still adding to the Shredder vibes. Because he did actually have a cape, I'm pretty sure. think this is going to be the time where it's going to strike me as a little awkward. But even then, it's not half bad. It's not half bad at all.
Until next time.
So this NPC I noticed had like an eye patch underneath their little parted eye. Yeah. Or parted hair. Thought that was like a neat little touch. I think I'm probably gonna look into that as like a possible idea. But other than that, after you have everything here, obviously it's still generic functioning stuff. Although it is nice just interacting with this and not talking to this NPC. I think that's an interesting feature. And we do still get access to the festivals, like, about. Although this is the first time we actually get to look at one, is the Super Adventure Box, to see how they kind of like introduce it to us in that mannerism. But
I know you're out there
say you're someone like
and
me
saving the world, but try to stay
and got
focused on what
already
really matters.
all the runic armor,
Crystals.
I can still come back here, do strike missions, and get ascended gear.
I know you're out there fighting dragons and saving the
Ascended
world,
gear
but try to stay
of
focused on what
weapons,
really matters.
armors,
Crystals.
of defenders or healers types. Now, I don't actually know what those actually compose of. I believe there's a selection. Malicious, I'm pretty sure that means Condi. Assaulters, that means power. I think someone was saying that the actual like typical healer build stuff that people want is in the Assaulters. Which mind you, the typical one that people want is the Harrier's stats for like their meta builds. Now, while off camera for like a good while, like while I haven't really been recording, while I've been wanting to do recording, while I've been doing like strike missions and stuff, I've been picking up a lot in like raid builds, how they function with each other, how the groups are supposed to function, etc, etc. So I'm thinking in future videos I'm probably going to go more in depth with stuff like that and a number of scenarios that come up. But I've just been investing more and more into like raider quality like gear. Or mostly with the Catmander. But there is a few other characters. Let's see, builds I've so far got mostly underway. Alacrity Renegade, Heal Renegade, Heal Firebrand, Condi Renegade, like a DPS focus point, not with toughness like I did for that PvE soloing stuff. There's also a heal druid, and as a more recent, I am working on a Condi Ren, not Condi Ren, Condi Mesmer. That's what it is. Mirage. I knew it was Path of Fire expansion, and typically I say Renegade, so that's where my mind kind of went to as like a fill in the blank.
No free samples.
I do technically have a power Dragon Hunter, but they are behind in Ascended gear. Though they do actually pretty good work still. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to see a lot of good results. Of course, the thing I'm probably going to be seeing as a weight the most is infusions. So this character is my new heal firebrand, or heal brand as they'll commonly say in LFG, or like HB for short. I wanted them to be very like support help you type. And so I was thinking,
Has really been looking out for me lately.
where is it? Oh, I must be too zoomed in.
How so?
Everything's just been going
Instructor.
so well. I should offer up some
In which
prayers
case
and
I'd be
prayers.
like a mentor type
She'd
figure.
probably appreciate that.
And I also got the professor title, which I'm trying to think where that actually came from. I'm trying to think if that came from doing certain amounts of fractals. Like I got some of that kind of work done recently. As much as I don't really do fractals, I have done them for collections for legendaries and things, mainly for Astral Area axe. But yeah, so the axe I'm using, I believe, is the Boreal, the restored Boreal. I'm pretty sure it's the restored. And then the shield I'm using is actually that one I forget the name of, but it's the Ancestral Guard.
Find everything you need here.
Yeah, it's the restored Boreal. But I wanted like a dusty sort of bookworm kind of look. Just sort of lost in their own world, like some from time to time reading, but also like doing their job instructing people, and maybe they like walk around and practically be a tour guide but still have their nose in the books or something. It's a fun little like idea I had. And ultimately I think it's going to be enjoyable playing this character. Now I have been actually kind of a little slow at getting the infusions for this, because I've noticed for fractals apparently it is on the common side to have heal brand, in which case some Agni resist in this would actually be half ideal to get my foot in that direction. So step by step, ideas and ideas. There is a rather lacking variety of legwear for this kind of theme though. That doesn't like too like over heavy serious or something for someone who would be like a bookworm. Like you could argue could just go Priory, for example. Oh no, I just really don't think it really looks good for a bookworm. So it doesn't really make sense for a bookworm to really be sitting down in that to me. Just like, could you imagine a wooden chair
Duena has really
and all
been
that
looking
is
out
like
for me
plating?
lately.
It's just like getting in your way.
Oh? How so?
Everything's just been going so well. I should offer up some prayers of thanks.
So yeah, looking into ideas.
She'd probably appreciate that.
Hopefully we get more variety in general. This is, I'm really looking forward to having something that can use these. Thinking maybe like a future sci-fi cyberpunk look maybe. Or maybe like something from, no, it wouldn't be in Metal Gear Solid, no. Just trying to think. Where would I think I've seen something like this from? Maybe something almost mecha, like I was saying before. Like it does look like something more of that nature, but it looks something more like power armory. So it's like, what do you do? But something notable about this build in particular is while I have been using a reliable source for a lot of these builds, Snow Crows, I'll probably put the link in the description if I remember to. But usually it has like a guide to kind of go in reference to each build. This one didn't have one. And so I ended up just sort of asking around to other people who've done the build, and they were saying just sort of like keep up with boons mostly. Which was an interesting thought to me. And a bit of a whatever. But at the same time it makes sense if you're like paying attention to what a lot of stuff actually does. Like a lot of stuff that gives boons also heals, for example. And also a modest few items in your arsenal give quickness is something else worth noting. Now something that's not too commonly expressed to people, or at least wasn't too well expressed to me, even in like the builds and whatnot, like the pages for them, is that heal brand is also considered a quickness brand to the fire brigade combinations and groups with alacrity rend. I thought that was actually kind of odd, but it also made sense. So basically firebrand builds that are like a little more to giving boons and whatnot are half in mind of providing quickness basically, while like
Duena has really
the
been looking out for me
renegades are
lately.
supposed to provide alacrity.
Oh? How so?
And it's
Everything's
just
been going so well.
do this or do
I
that
should offer up
kind of
some prayers
scenario
of
for
thanks.
each their own.
She'd probably appreciate
But whichever the
that.
case, the firebrands can only provide quickness to up to 5 targets. So people probably sometimes do like 2 like firebrands in a group just to spread the quickness about for quicker casts. So yeah, I've definitely been picking up a lot on how a lot of these sorts would work. Honestly, I do think there's probably still more for me to learn, but that's a step-by-step process. But this is my new condition heavy based renegade build. I don't actually recall how set I have them in infusions. I thought I did a couple. Yeah, probably like 4. Yeah, apparently like 4 infusions. But you'll notice their name is Soltis, the spider.
Duena has really been looking out for me lately.
Now this is a little less common knowledge,
Oh?
but when
Everything's
I
just
came
been
up
going
with
so
my
well.
original
I should offer
username
up some prayers of thanks.
across the web,
She'd probably
I
appreciate
accidentally misspelled solstice, and I just forgot the S in it somehow, and it just sort of stuck that way, where people even mistook it as being spelled correctly on the first website I visited. Don't ask me how that works, but that's exactly how it happened. But spider. So because they're Kandi, I figure, oh, like, they sometimes do things like poison and stuff, and they have all these crazy effects on their targets. I was thinking, what could I possibly relate that with and keep the character interesting? Something that came in mind was Spider. But, let's see. Part of what's else to note of this character's design is that they have just antler things sticking out of their skull. Now, part of my inspiration for the design of this character was I wanted like a red standing out character with an intimidation factor and kind of just absurd and size. What kind of like inspired this was the elites from Halo Reach, the Zealot class. And then there was the singular one that had like little projections from its head plating, and that associated it as like their little leader, their marshal of the troop. And while visually they actually stood out quite a lot, they still ran all these like covert ops, like stealth stuff, recon, important missions, recovery. I wanted to try my hand at something closer to that nature, and what also kind of like drove into like the name of Spider, or like spiders are sneaky, they sneak into places. When you're actually looking at them, they really stand out though. So if you put 2 and 2 together, you get 8.
Duena has really
No, it's
been
totally
looking out for
4.
me lately.
Unless you do like times 2
Oh?
afterwards.
How so?
Maybe there's
Everything's
like a
just been going so
parentheses or
well.
something.
I should offer up some prayers of thanks.
But
She'd probably appreciate that.
yeah, I think this is going to be interesting seeing how the actual DPS is with this. Like, I'm especially just looking at this. That 15k it mentions, I kind of want to see it in real action. I don't know if it... Why am I in walk?
But I can hold you as long as I need to.
When did I put myself in walk? Oh, probably positioning myself. That would make sense. Yeah, ultimately I'm really happy with the look. It almost looks like a demonic kind of look, but it's not really intended to give that kind of impression, as much as it's just sort of did. And for a title, I decided Ransacker, which is from World vs. World, I'm pretty sure. If you ask me specifically what, I don't recall specifically. I do so much stuff. It was either World vs. World or PvP, I don't know. I do so much I don't even know anymore. Let's see here. Anything else that stands out? So this definitely stands out to me, is where it says the damage from the torment in this. Saying 10k. No, I'm pretty sure on the Catmander it was 6k, or somewhere around there, for the max effect. In which case, it'd be pretty interesting to see this really in action, and it's probably better in like bigger targets. Which in general these would be better on bigger targets. Just for the fullest effect, and the more mobile they are, the better. Because it's torment, so... Yeah. Yeah, I really should test this out properly. It's like I have a decent idea of the rotation. I've watched the videos of it. And ultimately, I think most Revenant builds are agreed that you should be popping this whenever. I don't know if this one's really on the essential side, but how it's supposed to work in most Revenant builds that are based on efficiency is you would want your energy consuming factor in to help move it down, and your build should be set to
Just been going so well.
upon legendary swaps to refill your bar, and you'd be just making fullest utility of that and down to the lowest as you can in an okay timely manner to the effect. And when it gets to 10 or below, at that legendary swap, it goes to its maximum most effect, but only in combat. So yeah, I've definitely learned some interesting factors to take into consideration. I really do think I'm going to enjoy looking into these more and more. But even then, if you actually try to look into like raid stuff, you're not going to get far without looking into someone who can and is willing to train you. Like if you go just scouting this 24/7, even then it's going to be kind of barren for you. Especially if it's something that you actually need or want. So people usually suggest what's called Raid Academy. Now I need to really look into them properly, but I just don't know if I want to actually just look up a group versus just catch it when it's at its convenience and just do whatever in the meanwhile. So it might be a little bit back and forth, I'm thinking. Now I mostly made this character straight up for the fashion because I really wanted to try for a 9-ball theme from the Armored Core series. Just sort of mecha type. I can't really see this in this angle. I didn't mean to fall off, but it's fine. Because I'm still in character. So it was a fun little bit of like a cosplay build. Now, a little lore detail. So 9-ball is an AI type enemy, where they were made as part of an experiment and considered of high value and worth the abilities of great control even by their maker, where they assumed and took great control. The actual AI for 9-ball was named Hustler 1 because, you know, AI are generic. But there is actually many different types of 9-ball. Now there's two that people particularly remember. The arena one, which is the standard highest quality of its basic form, matte. And then there's the Seraph, which was considered one of the tougher bosses this series could have introduced for its time. And people absolutely loved it for that reason. The Seraph is the one that had back pieces of this sort of nature. But I think the back pieces were also missile launchers, so obviously there's only so close I'm gonna get with that. But otherwise it was very melee capable, and it was able to transform into a sort of jet sort of design that was also melee capable. Or at least we know that to be true with I'm trying to think what it was called. But it had like I don't want to call it a cameo because it wasn't that short-lived. It was like specially featured as like a boss type enemy in a game. A game of like showing off all these mechs from different series. But in that one, they demonstrated it with like a playable mode where you got to play as it, and it's like lets you turn into a jet and had like a point on the front where you could ram right through enemies, and it was just so freaking cool. I only actually know about it from a video, and it's actually well referenced like to it, kind of, that game. I just can't remember what it was called because it was Another Century, that's what it was called. It's like the name of it is so close to a name of another Armored Core game, so I actually had to think and not get like the wrong name mixed up. But yeah, it was really cool, and Nineball is quite a badass. Destroyed players in like seconds if they didn't know it's coming.
Who, Logan? Who else would I be talking about?
I tried to like theme the mounts after it also, but there's only so much I can do with that and be happy with. Adequately, I went with the rolling ace title to kind of like keep in theme. Now I realized in the making of this I kind of like blended two styles. Like I did the eye blue, like the standard 9-ball, but I did like I technically did a Seraph thing with the wings, but the Seraph is yellow in the eyes.
Any sharpshooters out there want an opportunity to prove themselves?
So it's like, it's close, but it's like super close, but it's like, which were you going for, man? Even then, it is quite enjoyable to play on, especially if the dual lightsaber is on a warrior. Considering either working out my own build or looking up a build for warrior that does dual one-hand sword,
I can hear women.
that'll make a better sort of utility of it and keep it a little even more in character, hopefully. I do have a kind of idea for a build. I'm trying to think where it was under. But there was I don't know if it's still there, but it's like you dodge and it does damage. It's like a sort of reckless dodge sort. I don't know if that's actually half considerable, but it's an idea at least. I just kind of want to look into it. And it does a neat little just like you'll see cracks and stuff on the floor even. It was really cool when I tried something similar of that nature once. So that's going to be something I'm going to be trying out sometime. Thank you for watching. I'm Forward Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8, and you have yourselves a good day. Bye-bye.